All right, we have an absolutely huge blockbuster story based on a report from the House Oversight Committee, which alleges to have uncovered evidence that Donald Trump received millions of dollars from foreign governments during his presidency, hid debts, concealed losses, and we're going to look at the details of what's alleged. This is sort of like another shoe dropping, as we expected the shoes to drop after Donald Trump's presidency ended. And this might actually explain why Trump put out the statement telling Republican voters, don't vote in 2022 and 2024, which we covered earlier, to draw attention away from this report. And to some degree, it worked. As of this morning, if you looked on Reddit, on the politics subreddit, the Trump telling Republicans not to vote story had 70,000 upvotes. Trump's major ethics violations had 4,000 upvotes. So it quite literally is working. Now, both are real stories, but if the idea was to obfuscate, it is working in a sense. So let's look at this. The House Committee on Oversight and Reform. Committee uncovers evidence that Trump concealed millions in losses, hid debts, and received millions from foreign governments at Trump Hotel. Look at this. Let's actually skip to the second part. The document provided by GSA, documents, raise new and troubling questions about Trump's lease with GSA and the agency's ability to manage the former president's conflicts of interest during his term in office, when he was effectively on both sides of the contract as landlord and tenant. Specifically, the committee found that President Trump provided misleading information about the financial situation of the Trump Hotel in his financial disclosures, received undisclosed preferential treatment from a foreign bank on a $170 million loan to the hotel that the president personally guaranteed, accepted millions of dollars in emoluments from foreign governments without providing an accounting of the money's source or purpose, concealed hundreds of millions of dollars in debts from GSA when bidding on the old post office building lease, and made it impossible for GSA to properly enforce the lease's conflict of interest restrictions by engaging in opaque transactions with other affiliated entities. As discussed in this letter, this new evidence raises many questions that require further investigation and action by the committee. This is a crazy amount of alleged wrongdoing and unethical behavior. It is stunning the degree to which this was taking place, which we knew. This wasn't we knew this was going on. We knew it wasn't being investigated seriously enough. It was obvious that this was going on. He never took care of all of those conflicts of interest. It's absolutely wild. So the documents show, look at the specifics here. Former President Trump reported massive revenues at the Trump Hotel, concealing that the hotel suffered $70 million in net losses. On his federally mandated financial disclosures, Trump reported that the hotel earned him over $150 million in revenue during his time in office, but the records obtained show it actually incurred losses of $70 million, leading Trump's holding company to inject at least $24 million into the struggling hotel. By filing misleading public disclosures, Trump exaggerated the health of the hotel. He also appears to have concealed potential conflicts of interest stemming not just from his ownership of this failing business, but also from his roles as the hotel's lender and guarantor of its third-party loans. While in office, Trump received preferential treatment potentially worth millions from a foreign bank. It is Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank is endlessly involved. Every single time there's a new report about these conflicts, Deutsche Bank is involved. Trump did not publicly disclose the benefits he got. It's a deferral that he got. The Trump Hotel received over $3.7 million from foreign governments. We knew that foreign governments were staying at Trump's D.C. hotel specifically to curry favor with him and to ingratiate themselves with him. We now know it is to the tune of $3.7 million. That is about 7,400 nights at Trump Hotel at the average daily rate. Trump didn't disclose that to the GSA, and he donated to the Treasury only a small portion of those payments. And then it goes on and on. Funny business with a lease related to the old post office building, and much, much more. This is more of the same stuff that he's been doing and getting away with for his whole career. He has bragged about it. He says he knows how to work the system. He knows how to essentially ignore regulations and laws. And we knew he was doing it on day one, where he showed up with the big stack of paper and said, here's the paperwork that my attorneys are filing in order to deal with my conflicts of interest. And we were like, first of all, is the stack even are they blank papers? That was question one. And number two, are they substantively meaningful in terms of actually dealing with conflicts of interest? And obviously they were not. This should all be investigated, as many of these seem violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which says it's unlawful for a U.S. person or company to offer or pay or promise to pay money or anything of value to foreign officials for the purposes of obtaining or retaining business. This seems to have been violated two ways, back and forth, for lack of a better term. It's the frustrating part is, obviously this was going on. Obviously it was going on. And now it could take, as we've been predicting for the better part of this year already, it could take years to unwind and uncover everything that went on. And we probably won't ever really learn the full extent of it. So incredible revelations here, and we'll continue to follow them. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pacman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. Takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft. And it's free. There's no catch whatsoever. But if you want, Privacy also offers a $10 a month plan that gives you 1% cash back and lets you create 36 credit cards a month, and a $25 a month plan tailored more for small businesses where you can create 60 card numbers a month and much more. But definitely go ahead and at least get started with the free plan. You'll protect your financial info. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pacman.